Hello and welcome to Newsroom series today as we focus on the Southwest region. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. A staggering 10.2 million Nigerian children are currently out of school in Nigeria. That's according to a recent UNICEF report, a figure that has once again sparked urgent call for government intervention. The latest is coming from the University of Ibadan, 580th inaugural lecture by a professor of law, Oshifunke Okundayo, who is advocating sweeping legal reform to make basic education truly free and accessible for all Nigerian children.
It's the 580th inaugural lecture of the University of Ibadan, and the Faculty of Law takes center stage as Professor Oshifunke Okundayo, a respected academic and legal scholar, uses the platform to spotlight a growing national crisis: Nigeria's out-of-school children. Her lecture, titled "Speaking Up for the Numerous Voiceless Children Shut Out of School in Nigeria, An Endless Odyssey," draws on personal experiences, legal research, and international human rights conventions.
Out-of-school children refer to children who are excluded from school education, including children of school age who have never been to school or who have started school but dropped out, or who are in school but at risk of dropping out. From my preliminary research, it is sad to know that Nigeria has the largest number of out-of-school children in the world.
She emphasizes that addressing the out-of-school crisis requires a firm policy direction that enforces compulsory education and holds government accountable.
Compulsion in free education, free primary education, requires that all those with responsibilities towards the child, the state, its agents and parents or guardians, are to ensure that the child accesses primary education, subject to the state meeting the necessary adequate requirements in relation to quality, relevance, and affordability.
Other legal experts and education stakeholders echo her sentiment, describing her submission as a wake-up call for the government and all Nigerians.
You can see the result of the JAM that just happened recently. It's a testimony and as a wake-up call for all the stakeholders that we need to focus on the education of our future children, of our current children, and the future of the country as a whole. Now, in support of the government, individuals who have the resources should also invest in education, set up good schools of higher standard, and they also provide educational scholarship for our children to have the best education in the world.
Even children forced into labor to support their families add their voices.
I'm always come here to help my mother to sell this from. Government should please to make education free.
Professor Okundayo concludes her address with a passionate plea urging constitutional reforms, international collaboration, and civil society advocacy to bring Nigeria's forgotten children back to school.
Now, in a significant display of community engagement, the Oniru of Iru Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulwasiu Lawal, is seeking collaboration with private hospitals to boost healthcare of grassroots communities. The monarch says his leadership is committed to providing quality and accessible healthcare services to members of the community. He made the comments when he paid a courtesy visit to Reddington Hospital in Victoria Island, Lagos. Responding, the management of the Reddington Hospital pledged their continued support for the monarch's vision even as he celebrates his 5th coronation anniversary on the throne.
The value of significant collaboration is on full display as the Reddington Hospital, Victoria Island, Lagos, a major contributor to the healthcare sector in Nigeria, plays host to a remarkable visit of His Royal Majesty Oba Abdulwasiu Lawal, the Oniru of Iru Kingdom. Flanked by his vibrant entourage, including his wife Olori Mariam Lawal This visit embodies the monarch's vision, Let's Grow Iroland Together, an initiative which prioritizes collaborative efforts to provide quality and affordable healthcare to members of the community.
My target was to set up a very robust community hospital that will not be too high in terms of costs, but that will also be affordable for a lot of indigent members of the community. If the palace partners with the Reddington group, we will not be making any mistake.
We remain committed to supporting your flagship vision, the legit vision for the people of Iroland. Let's grow Iroland together. We're happy to partner with you, sir, and we'll continue to partner with you.
The occasion doubles as a celebration of the monarch's 5th coronation anniversary, with a special gift, a large portrait presented to him, courtesy of the hospital.
One of the missions of the Reddington Hospital has to be at the forefront of delivery of quality healthcare in Nigeria, because all of us are aware of the significant challenges that we face in Nigeria, generally with respect to healthcare. On behalf of the Reddington, we truly appreciate you.
The monarch is given a special tour of the hospital and is impressed by what he sees.
Reddington Hospital Group has been in existence for almost 2 decades here in Iroland. Precisely, this is the Martins, and I'm very impressed with what they have done, the quality of service.
To grow a formidable health sector, the power of collaboration is paramount, and this visit serves as a clear illustration of the significant achievement that can be unlocked by working together.
Still in the health sector, but this time in Oyo State, where Governor Seyi Makinde has officially flagged off the 2025 edition of the annual Free Medical Mission. The initiative, which offers free healthcare services across all 33 local government areas, is part of the administration's commitment to making healthcare accessible and affordable. At the flag-off ceremony in Ibadan, the governor also announced his willingness to share the state's successful healthcare delivery model with the federal government.
The historic Mapo Hall in Ibadan Northeast Local Government Area comes alive as Governor Seyi Makinde launches the 2025 edition of the Omitutu Free Medical Mission, a statewide healthcare outreach that offers free medical services to residents.
His Excellency,
Governor Makinde emphasizes that a prosperous society must begin with a healthy population and reaffirms his administration's ongoing efforts to expand access to quality health care by building primary health care centers in all 351 electoral wards of the state.
Before federal government, our ni functional primary health care facility in each ward, and 354 of them. And we've made a lot of progress in terms of commitment at that very level. So we have to keep the pressure on.
The governor explains that the decision to build a PHC in every ward was driven by the need to bring health services closer to the people and ensure long-term access to affordable care.
We will still continue to tweak the architecture until everybody near your state, you want listen with their 2 eyes closed. Your government will continue to focus on a healthy population and also tackling poverty in Oyo State. So I flag this off in the name of God the Father, God the Son, and God the Holy Spirit.
In her welcome address, the Commissioner for Health thanks Governor Makinde for transforming the state's healthcare sector through strategic investments in infrastructure and personnel.
We encourage all beneficiaries to take responsibility of their health by keeping their service codes and following through on post-care instructions. Additionally, we are facilitating enrollment into insurance scheme under the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund through the Oyo State Health Insurance Agency Gateway, and this will ensure continuity of care beyond this outreach.
Chairman of the Oyo State Hospital Management Board, Dr. Akin Fagbemi, also acknowledges the administration's recent recruitment of medical personnel, which led to the state receiving full accreditation for physiotherapy services.
An enforcement of the ban on single-use plastics in Lagos State will begin from the 1st of July 2025. The State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Mr. Tokumbo Wahab, made the comment in Ikeja when a team from the Tetra Pak West Africa Limited paid him a visit to explain how prepared they are before the enforcement begins in July. According to the Commissioner, the Lagos State government has given enough time to all those affected by the decision of single-use plastics ban, which will be effective 18 months after the announcement. Mr. Wahab says no form of excuse will be entertained by any private body who does not comply with the government directive for the ban on single-use plastics in Lagos.
When we announced the ban on styrofoam in 2024, there was a lot of hue and cry, but we knew why. And on that same day, we announced that in the next 12 months, we are taking out single-use plastics. And that gave everyone the opportunity to start the transition. And we gave the reasons. Enforcement ought to have started January this year, but it's going to start June 30th. That's the cut-off date. Everyone will not fall. June 30th is the final date of every form of talk we're going to have with anybody. By July 1st, we start the enforcement on ban of single-use plastics in Lagos State. We've had engagement with February. We've had with some of your people. And one or two of them had complied 70%. I think it's Chivita. They just have to undo the issue of the straw, one of their products. If I remember very, I don't forget things. And just one. So, and we've had conversations with them earlier in the year. So, if out of a 12-month cycle, we're giving 6 months to allow people get their bearings, let us be fair to the states.
You're watching Newsroom series. Coming up, the National Sports Festival begins in Ogun State. Please stay with us. You're watching the Newsroom series. Coming up, and we begin with the Lagos State government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Food System, which has begun construction work on the Lagos Aquaculture Center of Excellence project, a trailblazing initiative that will reinforce the state's food security strategy in certain areas, including Ekpe. State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Abisola Olusonya, who visited the site, says the project aims at revolutionizing the aquaculture sector in Lagos by boosting fish production, creating jobs, and enhancing food security. The Lagos State Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems, Abisola Olusonya, visits Igbonla area of Ekpe alongside other senior officials from the ministry to inspect the Lagos Aquaculture Center of Excellence project, a public-private partnership initiative between the state government and Dola Agro Services located on 35 hectares in Igbonla axis of Ekpe local government. Key features of the Lagos Aquaculture Center of Excellence project are a 50 million fish fingerlings hatchery, 24,000-ton feed mill, and a 20,000-ton fish processing center, a first of its kind not only in Lagos but in the country. The Commissioner for Agriculture and Food Systems says the project will transform the aquaculture sector, create jobs, and improve food security in Lagos State.
It is to be a processing facility for fish from various clusters across the state. So from the different fish farms, the expectation is that this facility would be able to mop up the fish and process it here. But at the same time, this would also serve as a production center for fingerlings. And then also it would produce fish to its own table-sized portions as well. We expect that this project should go live next year by the third quarter. The project only just started this March, and obviously the progress that has been made within the last 2 months, I think it's amazing considering that this was a forested area, and you can see behind us that work is going on day and night. And I believe that what we hope to see in Lagos, being the city of aquatic splendor and being a fishing state, is that having facilities like this that can offtake in large quantities, it would actually bolster and encourage our fish farmers to go into active production.
Partners in the project emphasize that the Lagos Aquaculture Center of Excellence will create better opportunities for fish farmers in terms of large-scale production and improved revenue for those in the aquaculture sector.
We work closely with the ministry and visited about 7 different locations. We took the water samples and we tested it. And this water is flowing all the way from Osun, the Osun River that flows all the way here. And the water quality is, perfect for our fish production plants. So we are going to stock at about 25%, about 25 kg per cubic meter stocking density. So we put in 70,000 pieces of fish in each of the ponds. And the plan is to harvest about 60 to 65 tons from each pond on a batch basis.
It's not just a project, not just an aquaculture project. It makes it a bold political statement of inclusivity, of creating wealth for the people. And, because the whole idea is to ensure that we are able to meet the fish requirements of Lagos State and indeed the entire country.
The government is also optimistic that the ongoing project will stabilize marketing of locally sourced fish.
Having facilities like this where price points can be agreed prior to production, where there's an off-taker arrangement with signed MOUs and agreements and more or less giving guarantees, I believe that it would actually help to bolster our fishing farmers' businesses, and at the same time it would give financial institutions the sort of comfort required to be able to extend loan facilities to our fish farmers as well.
The Lagos Aquaculture Center of Excellence project is expected to be completed by the third quarter next year, and government believes that the facility will drive growth, innovation, and sustainability in the aquaculture sector of the state. Residents living along the trade fair at Uramigba Okini axis have staged a peaceful protest expressing their dissatisfaction over what they describe as a substandard road construction by the contractor handling the project. They carried placards with different inscriptions expressing their grievances and blocking the road to disrupt vehicular movement. Addressing journalists during the protest, chairman of the community said that the asphalt was laid on the road on Tuesday but washed away less than 48 hours after rainfall, indicating poor workmanship. He urged the state government to ensure that contractor returns to the site to deliver durable and quality road projects to justify government's funds invested. According to him, apart from a lack of a drainage system and stone base before the asphalt was laid, the contractor asphalted only 2 of the approximately 5 kilometer stretch that's left the site, leaving residents to contend with the consequences of the poorly executed project. The road project awarded a few months ago is a counterpart-funded initiative involving the World Bank, the Rural Access and Mobility Project, and the Osun State Government. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, has declared open the 22nd National Sports Festival, tagged Gateway Games, open in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. The Vice President, who represented the President at the official opening ceremony held at the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abeokuta, in the state capital, reiterated the commitment of the federal government towards developing the sports economy for unity, cohesion, growth, and development.
Of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The much-anticipated 22nd National Sports Festival, tagged Gateway Games 2024, has now officially begun, with the opening ceremony attended by governors, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, former Speaker of the House of Representatives Dimeji Bankole, and other top personalities from within and outside the state. The event witnessed a parade by the 36 participating states and the Federal Capital Territory.
Ladies and gentlemen, with all the love from the FCT, the seats are for in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We thank you so very much with all the love.
And spectacular performances which reflect the rich cultural heritage of the host state.
So baby, tell me why you wanna. She body make you do as you like. That's like with the body can blow some trees, make you feel alright. I don't feel like.
The chairman of the National Sports Commission, Shehu Diko, commends Ogun State for staging a memorable event.
This is a festival. It's not just a sporting event. It is a celebration of our diversity, our unity, and our shared aspiration to build a stronger Nigeria through the power of sport. For the first time in the history of the festival, and in furtherance of Mr. President's Youth Focus agenda, we are proud to introduce the Invited Junior Athletes, IJA, initiative. These promising young athletes drawn from across the country will participate under the name 38 states of the Federation. This innovation ensures early exposure, national integration, and a structured pipeline for Nigerian future sporting glory.
The host governor, Dakwa Abiodun, calls for more investment in sports as the games remain an avenue for talent discovery.
Today marks a defining moment in the illustrious legacy of National Sports Festival in our great nation. As we gather here, we celebrate not only the enduring spirit of sportsmanship, but also unity, resilience, and the boundless potential that lie within the vibrant energy of our youth. As Nelson Mandela once said, sports has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does.
The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who represented the President Bola Tinubu, describes the festival as an avenue for national unity and cohesion.
For decades, sports has placed Nigeria on the global map, not just in glory, but in grit. From medal-winning Olympians to world-renowned footballers, from heavyweight champions in boxing to our stars on tracks and fields, we have nurtured a lineage of excellence that has made every Nigerian walk taller. This is the heritage upon which we stand today, and the 22nd National Sports Festival is both a celebration and a continuation of that excellence. This festival is not just about competition. It is a tribute to our unrelenting commitment to preserving the spirit of sponsorship, to investing materially and emotionally in a practice that defines us as a people.
15,000 athletes from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT are participating in the festival, competing for 2,150 medals.
The Ondo State government has distributed relief material to victims of rainstorms and other natural disasters in 5 local government areas of the state. Speaking at the flag-off of the exercise, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa notes that the relief material and the cash gifts are meant to bring succor to the victims.
Victims of natural disasters in Ondo State gathered one of the state government's warehouses in Akure, the state capital, for the distribution of relief materials.
We are here today to present relief materials to victims of rain and windstorm disasters across the state. Also, victims of fire incidents will also be compensated. This gesture is a confirmation of our covenant with our people and commitment of our administration to ensuring delivery of democracy dividends in the best interest of the Sunshine State.
Beneficiaries of this phase are residents from 5 local government areas of Akure North, Akure South, Akoko Southwest, Idori, and Ifedori.
Cement, name it. So,
also present at the event is the head of the Ondo Ekiti office of the National Emergency Management Agency, Kufoworola Shuleye, who commends the government's proactive response.
Thank the government of the state for always being ahead of the operations. So we are very grateful, sir. And I'm sure that we also wrote a report on this, and we're expecting some items to come. And so we'll be supporting the State Emergency Management Agency as time goes on.
We thank our governor.
Among the recipients is Taiwo Ogundaosi, who is grateful for the items received.
Thank you very much. May God Almighty protect you and guide you for Ondo State.
Items distributed include bags of rice, mattresses, cement, nails, bundles of roofing sheets and cash support, all aimed at helping the victims rebuild and recover.
And that's it on Newsroom series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Mokola.